in most cases, the narrative always goes like this. Something goes wrong. Volkswagen is a classic case. At first, everybody says, oh, we couldn't possibly have known. Then they say it's a few bad apples. Then it turns out that quite a lot of people knew. And then it turns out kind of everybody knew or could have known. And so the question is not, who can we throw out and punish publicly? The question is, how did it happen that a lot of people knew and nobody said anything? And this is rarely about bad people. It's typically about bad systems. So it's not safe to speak up. I won't get my bonus. My boss won't like me. I don't know who to talk to. Everybody else isn't worried. So maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick. If I do speak up, I'll be considered an idiot. And so there are huge psychological, social, often financial forces at work, which literally stop people from seeing what is in front of their eyes. And instead, I think what we tend to do is, we do look for people to throw out so we feel powerful and like we're doing something. But I think we also tend, because we're so focused on all the kind of so-called scientific management of managing people by results, we pay a lot less attention to how they get those results and the consequences of how they do their work. I think what has sprung up since then has been a belief that, okay, well, if nobody's speaking up, it's because they're afraid. And that's one reason, but it's not the only reason. And therefore, what we have to do is we have to tell people it's safe. And there's several problems with this. One is telling people it's safe does not make them feel safe. They've rarely worked in organizations where it was obviously safe, so they don't believe you. And the second thing is, even in organizations where it is safe and it is visibly safe, organizations don't exist in a vacuum. If you're running an organization in a country that has high levels of unemployment, where people may carry very large amounts of personal debt, like mortgages, trust me, those people don't feel safe. It doesn't matter what you say. The context is dangerous. So I think this puts a huge responsibility on managers at all levels to understand how susceptible they are to willful blindness, how unlikely it is that people will tell them about problems, and therefore how hard they have to work to ensure that that kind of information comes to light. But I think your working assumption has got to be, on the whole, people are not telling you everything you need to know. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes think, when I think back to my time as a CEO, I think my kind of working assumption was, well, there's something going wrong somewhere, and it's my job to figure out where and how. And it's not to find scapegoats, it's just to keep, scanning the horizon and talking to people at every level of the organization to see, where are these early warning signs that something's not quite right.